Authorities in Barrie and across Simcoe County are dealing with one of the most intense winter weather events the region has seen in years. A powerful combination of a strong low-pressure system and relentless lake-effect snow has buried the area under a deep blanket of snow, bringing transportation to a standstill, forcing closures, and turning everyday travel into a serious challenge. The snowfall began late Monday night but rapidly intensified during the early morning hours of Tuesday. By sunrise, conditions had deteriorated quickly as heavy snow bands settled over the region. Meteorologists say the storm is being fueled by bitter Arctic air moving across the relatively warmer, unfrozen waters of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay. That sharp temperature difference has created a lake-effect snow machine, producing narrow but extremely intense snow bands that refuse to move. By early afternoon, weather stations in Barrie had already measured around 45 centimeters of fresh snowfall. In some southern parts of the city, strong wind gusts piled snow into massive drifts exceeding 70 centimeters. Visibility dropped to near zero at times, creating sudden whiteout conditions that made navigation nearly impossible. Roads that appeared passable one moment became dangerous the next. Highway 400, the main route connecting Barrie to the Greater Toronto area, was hit hard. Multiple collisions were reported, including a major pileup involving several vehicles and tractor-trailers. Sections of the highway were temporarily shut down as emergency crews worked to clear wreckage and assist stranded drivers. While no deaths have been reported, several people were injured. Public transportation across the city has been suspended, with officials citing impassable roads and serious safety concerns. At the regional airport, all flights were grounded as crews struggled to keep runways clear amid non-stop snowfall and blowing winds. For residents, the storm has transformed familiar streets into snow-choked corridors, shutting down normal routines and underscoring just how powerful lake-effect weather can be when conditions align. And as the snow continues to fall, officials warn that the situation remains fluid, urging people to stay off the roads and prepare for extended disruptions. City officials have declared a significant weather event, a move that gives plow crews extra time to clear roads under extreme conditions. Public works teams are now working 12-hour shifts around the clock. But officials say the snowfall rate, nearly 5 centimeters an hour, means that by the time a plow finishes a residential street, the beginning of that same street is already buried again. For students, the storm delivered a snow day on a historic scale. Both major school boards across Simcoe County canceled all bus service and closed school buildings early Tuesday morning. Georgian College also shifted its Barrie campus to remote learning, urging students and staff to stay off the roads. Despite the disruption, the spirit of the city remains strong. On local community forums, residents organized informal snow angel groups, volunteering to shovel driveways for healthcare workers, seniors, and anyone unable to clear snow on their own. One resident, digging out a buried mailbox, summed it up simply: "Winter storms aren't new here, but this one feels different. Visibility is almost non-existent, yet neighbors are still helping neighbors, pushing cars out of snowbanks, sharing salt, and checking in on one another." Downtown, most businesses have closed their doors for safety. A handful of coffee shops remain open, offering warmth and shelter to stranded commuters and exhausted shovelers. The economic impact is expected to be significant, with retail and transportation operations largely at a standstill. Emergency services are also feeling the strain, with longer response times reported across the city. Fire officials are reminding residents to clear snow away from fire hydrants and home exhaust vents, warning that blocked vents can lead to dangerous carbon monoxide buildup. Weather officials say lake-effect snow squalls are likely to continue through Wednesday morning. A sharp cold front is expected to follow, driving temperatures down to minus 22 degrees Celsius, with wind chills making it feel closer to minus 30. And the storm's impact has turned tragic. Police confirmed that a 72-year-old man was found unresponsive in his driveway in a residential neighborhood and later pronounced dead, a sobering reminder of how dangerous severe winter weather can be. As the snow continues to fall and temperatures plunge, officials are urging residents to stay indoors if possible, check on vulnerable neighbors, and take every precaution until conditions improve. Officials believe the first victim suffered a fatal cardiac event while trying to shovel heavy, wet snow, a dangerous combination even for healthy adults. Later, a second deadly incident unfolded on a steep, icy stretch of road when a local transit bus collided with a small car that had lost control. The driver of the car was pronounced dead at the scene. Several bus passengers were treated for minor injuries and released. By late evening, the city of Barrie had effectively shut down. Highway 400 was closed in both directions across a long stretch of the city, leaving hundreds of motorists stranded in their vehicles. Fire and emergency crews began conducting wellness checks along the highway, handing out blankets and water to people stuck in the storm. Officials warned that one of the greatest dangers overnight was carbon monoxide poisoning. Drivers running their engines for heat were urged to make sure exhaust pipes remained clear of snow, as blocked vents can quickly turn deadly. Weather officials confirmed that the snow squall warning remained in effect. Open waters in Georgian Bay continued to fuel a narrow but powerful band of lake-effect snow, dumping more than half a meter of snowfall on the city in less than 24 hours. Snowfall rates reached extreme levels, fast enough that even heavy-duty plows struggled to keep roads passable. Ice pellets mixed with snow turned paved surfaces into sheets of ice, making travel nearly impossible. In an emergency message to residents, city leadership urged everyone to stay indoors. The message was clear and emotional. Lives had already been lost, and conditions were simply too dangerous. Drivers were warned that venturing out didn't just put themselves at risk, it also endangered first responders already stretched thin across the city. To support those affected, local warming centers were opened at community facilities for residents who lost power or became stranded near city limits. As the storm continued into the night, Barrie faced not just a battle with snow and cold, but a test of endurance, caution, and community, one where staying put could mean staying alive. Ontario Provincial Police collision investigators remain on scene along Highway 400, though their work is being slowed by near-blizzard conditions. A formal investigation into the multi-vehicle pileup is now underway, focusing on visibility, road conditions, and whether commercial vehicles were complying with reduced speed limits in effect during the storm. Looking ahead, the forecast offers little relief. While snow squalls may begin to weaken by Wednesday afternoon, temperatures are expected to plunge to around -25 degrees. At those levels, frostbite can occur in minutes for anyone without proper shelter or winter protection. Beyond the immediate danger, the storm is leaving a deep financial impact. Barrie's operations budget has taken a significant hit. More than 60 centimeters of snow fell in less than 36 hours, forcing the city to burn through a large portion of its annual winter maintenance reserve in just 2 days. The cost of deploying a full fleet of plows, graders, and salt spreaders, along with private contractors and overtime pay for hundreds of city workers, is estimated at more than $1 million per day. The weight of the heavy, wet snow has also caused structural damage. Early reports point to roof collapses at municipal storage facilities, along with widespread power disruptions as ice-laden tree branches brought down electrical lines across multiple neighborhoods. Utility providers say losses are mounting, with damaged transformers and the challenge of deploying emergency repair crews in dangerous, sub-zero conditions. The impact extends far beyond city limits. Barrie serves as a key gateway to northern Ontario, and the prolonged closure of Highway 400 has sent shockwaves through the regional supply chain. Thousands of transport trucks remain stranded at on-ramps and truck stops, unable to move goods north or south. Industry analysts estimate the disruption is costing the logistics sector millions of dollars for every few hours the highway remains closed, losses that continue to climb with each passing hour. As crews work through the night and temperatures continue to fall, the storm is no longer just a weather emergency. It has become a test of infrastructure, preparedness, and how quickly the region can recover once the snow finally stops falling. Grocery stores and food distributors are now reporting heavy losses. Perishable items spoiled after deliveries were delayed or left sitting in unheated trailers during hours of gridlock. For the local business community, the timing of the storm could not have been worse. Small businesses along Bayfield St and throughout Barrie's downtown core saw foot traffic nearly disappear. The Barrie Chamber of Commerce estimates that retail and hospitality sectors lost more than $8 million in potential sales during the 2-day peak of the storm. Restaurants, many already operating on razor-thin margins, were hit especially hard. Reservations were canceled, staff couldn't reach work, and valuable inventory was lost. Insurance companies are bracing for a surge in claims. Adjusters report a sharp rise in calls related to ice dam damage, burst pipes, vehicle collisions, and structural failures. Early projections suggest that private insurance payouts in the Barrie area could exceed $25 million. In practical terms, the storm erased nearly 2 full days of economic activity for most of the city's 150,000 residents. With schools closed and public transit suspended, absenteeism surged. Thousands of hourly workers were unable to reach their job sites, contributing to a noticeable dip in local economic output early in the year. Construction projects across the city were also brought to a halt. Clearing snow-covered sites and resetting timelines is expected to add significant carrying costs for developers, pushing some projects weeks or longer behind schedule. Hospitals felt the strain as well. Emergency rooms saw an influx of patients injured in whiteout collisions, suffering from frostbite, or experiencing cardiac events linked to snow shoveling. Treating these cases placed additional pressure on already stretched healthcare resources. Police and fire services used an unprecedented amount of fuel, equipment, and manpower, creating budget shortfalls that will likely require future reallocations. City leaders have acknowledged that the financial impact may exceed what the municipality can manage alone. Officials have signaled that a request for provincial disaster relief funding is being considered, citing the extraordinary cost of response and recovery. As the city begins the long dig-out process, the focus is shifting from immediate survival to long-term recovery. The snow will eventually melt, but the economic damage left behind by this storm is expected to linger for months, possibly years. If you found this analysis helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. Sharing this video helps others understand the real impact of extreme weather events like this. And if this report gave you value, hitting the like button helps ensure these stories reach more people who need to hear them. Thanks for watching.